All right, so Google Agentspace, huh? You sent over a ton of stuff to get ready for this deep dive.
Yeah, I think it's got huge potential.
I think so too. I mean, just look at all this stuff, blog posts, technical documents. We even have a YouTube video review.
It's definitely making some waves.
Yeah, Google seems to be going all in on transforming how we interact with, well, information at work.
Yeah.
But I don't just want to go through a list of features, you know? What do you think makes this so groundbreaking?
Well, it's almost like they're trying to, well, build a digital brain for a company.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like an AI that understands your company's knowledge no matter where it is.
So it's more than just a search engine.
Right. It's about connecting all those dots and generating insights and even taking action based on that.
So like an army of super smart assistants working behind the scenes.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
I like that.
And they've structured agent space in a way that kind of makes it adaptable to all the different needs in a company. They've got these 3 tiers, each building on the last.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break these tiers down for me.
Sure. So let's start with Notebook LM Enterprise. Think of it as your own personal AI research assistant.
Okay.
So you can upload all kinds of documents like reports, articles. You can even upload audio recordings.
Wow.
And it summarizes the key points for you. It generates different content formats. It can even create these audio overviews that you can listen to on the go.
So no more zoning out during those earnings calls. I could actually be productive.
Exactly.
I could get through that mountain of research while walking the dog.
Yeah.
Okay, that changes things. But what about if we're talking about teams, like real collaboration? That's where Agentspace Enterprise comes in.
Exactly. That's the next tier up. This is all about company-wide search now.
Okay.
Imagine having one search bar that can tap into all your company's data. I'm talking Google Drive, SharePoint, anything.
No more digging through endless folders.
Right, exactly. And it's not just keyword matching. It actually understands natural language. So you can ask it questions like, you're talking to a person.
Even better, because this person has read every document and email ever.
Right, that's the idea.
Oh, wow.
And think about it. If you've got global teams, it has built-in translation.
Oh, that's huge.
So language barriers are a thing of the past. This kind of seamless information flow, it could really change how companies work.
So we've got personalized AI assistants with Notebook LM, then company-wide knowledge sharing with Agentspace Enterprise.
Yeah.
What's the final frontier?
That would be Agentspace Enterprise Plus, and this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because this tier allows you to actually build custom AI agents. And these agents can automate specific tasks. They can even automate entire workflows for you.
So it's like having an AI specialist on your team, but they're working 24/7?
Yeah, that's the idea. It's kind of like...
Okay, hold on. I need an example. What are we talking about here? What kind of tasks are we talking about?
Sure. So, for example, Deloitte. They're already using Agentspace in some cool ways.
Yes.
Vivek Kulkarni, he leads their GenAI efforts there, and he uses Notebook LM to listen to audio summaries of earnings calls during his commute.
Oh, I see. So instead of getting bogged down in the details, he can focus on, like, strategy?
Exactly. It frees up time for more strategic thinking.
But that's an executive. How does this trickle down to, like, the everyday worker?
Okay, so let's say you're working on a marketing campaign.
All right.
You could have an AI agent that automatically pulls data from your CRM, and then it analyzes market trends, maybe even generates like a first draft of a report for you with all the data visualizations.
Wow, that's a lot of time saved.
That could be, yeah, hours or even days saved. And then you can focus on the more creative and strategic work.
So it's not about replacing jobs. It's about AI taking care of the boring stuff so humans can focus on what they're good at.
That's the idea.
But it's all theoretical until you see it in action.
Right.
Are there any real-world examples where companies are actually seeing results from Agentspace?
There are. So Laura Schacht, she leads human capital AI at Deloitte, and she actually uncovered a key insight from a GenAI report by using Notebook LM's audio summary feature.
Really?
And this is something that she totally missed, even after reading the report multiple times.
So it's not just about convenience. It actually leads to, like, better decision-making, new discoveries.
Yeah, that's really impressive. And executives at Nokia and Decathlon, they're excited about Agentspace because they see it as a way to break down those silos and connect their employees with the information that they need.
Okay, so real companies are seeing real value. This isn't just hype.
Right.
But what specifically makes Agentspace different?
One of the key things is its multimodal search.
Multimodal search.
Yeah, it goes beyond just searching text. It lets you search using images, audio. You can even search using video.
Really?
Yeah. And this is all powered by Gemini, Imagen, and Veo, some of Google's most advanced AI models.
So I could take a picture of a competitor's product, for example, and have Agentspace just find everything related to that.
Exactly. You
Uh,
could. And because it understands the context of your company's data,
Yeah.
the results are going to be much more relevant and useful than, just doing a Google search.
It's like having a research team in your pocket that knows everything about your company and the competition.
That's the goal.
I'm starting to see how this could really be a game changer, especially for, smaller businesses that don't have those resources.
Yeah, for sure.
But one thing I'm always cautious about with new technology, especially AI, is security.
Yeah.
How does Google protect all this sensitive company data?
Well, that's a great question and a valid concern. It's built on Google Cloud, which is secure by design.
Okay.
You've got data encryption, you have access controls, all the compliance certifications.
So my data is protected by the same stuff that Google uses for Gmail and all that.
Right, exactly.
That's reassuring. But let's be real, no technology is perfect.
Right.
What are some of the potential downsides to something this powerful?
You're absolutely right. It's good to be, skeptical.
I try to be.
Luckily, you sent over a Forbes article by Jason Anderson. He takes a more critical look at it. Maybe we should look at that.
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say. A little healthy skepticism is always good.
So one thing he points out is that, a purely prompt-driven system, like,
Mhm.
this might not be that intuitive for everyone.
I could see that.
Some people need more visuals, maybe a more structured interface to understand things.
Everyone learns differently.
Right,
Or
exactly. And he also makes a good point about prompt writing skills.
prompt writing skills.
Yeah, the quality of the results you get depends on how good you are at asking those questions.
So it's like learning how to talk to your AI assistant.
Exactly, yeah. It's like its own form of literacy almost.
I like that.
And then, of course, he brings up scalability, especially for large organizations,
Mhm.
Integrating across so many platforms could get messy and expensive, potentially.
Those are all good points. It's good to go into this with eyes wide open.
Definitely.
But even with those concerns, Anderson seems pretty optimistic about Agentspace. What's his take on the bigger picture?
Well, he sees tools like this as pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Hmm.
It's a stepping stone towards a future where AI is just a natural part of how we work, making us more efficient, insightful, maybe even more creative.
I like that AI is a catalyst for human potential.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back down to earth. What does all this mean for someone who wants to try Google Agentspace? What can they do now?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that Google Agentspace really could change things. It's not just about finding information. It's about unlocking expertise, boosting your productivity, and maybe even making you a little more creative.
Those are some lofty goals.
They are.
But where do you even start? What can our listener do today to start exploring Agentspace?
That is a great question, and that's actually the perfect way to start the next part of our deep dive. We should talk about practical strategies for getting started with this and the skills you'll need to succeed in this new world of AI-powered knowledge work.
Sounds good to me. Let's dive in.
Mm.
So, we've talked about how amazing this could be, but I bet some folks are ready to try it out. What's the first step?
The great thing is Google's making it really easy. They've got a 30-day free trial for Notebook LM.
Free trial. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, you can really get a feel for it, see how it fits into your workflow.
Before you commit, that's always a good idea. What about the other tiers? Agentspace Enterprise and that Enterprise Plus.
Those are still early access, but you can sign up to be notified when they're available, more broadly.
So get on that wait list if you want to be on the cutting edge. But even with free trials and early access, you always have a bit of a learning curve. What skills should our listeners be working on to really make the most of Agentspace?
Prompt engineering is a big one.
Prompt engineering.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
about crafting those, really effective prompts that get the best responses from AI.
Okay, break that down for me. Prompt engineering, what does that even mean?
Basically, it's learning how to talk to AI. You have to understand how it processes language, what kind of info it needs, and how to structure your questions to get those, accurate and relevant results.
So it's like learning how to speak AI almost.
Yeah, in a way, it's a new language, but instead of talking to a human, you're talking to a machine.
And the better you speak that language, the better results you get.
Exactly.
Are there any resources for people who want to get better at this prompt engineering stuff?
Oh, yeah. There are tons of online courses and tutorials popping up. and even whole communities dedicated to it.
So it's becoming like a real skill set that people need.
It really is,
Mm.
especially if you want to get the most out of AI.
So prompt engineering, that's essential. But I'm also thinking about the bigger picture here. How does Google Agentspace fit into, the AI landscape?
Uh,
Are other companies doing similar things?
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
This space is just exploding right now.
Yeah, it feels like it's moving so
It
fast.
is. Microsoft, for example, they've got their own AI platform. It's called Microsoft 365 Copilot.
I've heard of that.
It's integrated right into their Office suite, Word and all that.
Mm.
It's designed to help with like writing, editing, summarizing content.
So it's like having an AI coworker right there in your Word document.
That's the idea.
I can see the appeal.
And then you've got Salesforce. They're huge in customer relationship management, and they're going all in on AI with their Einstein AI platform.
So it's not just Google, it's like everyone's jumping on this.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think's driving this whole AI gold rush?
The potential's just too big to ignore. The companies that create the best AI tools, the most intuitive ones, the most powerful, secure, they're going to have a huge advantage.
That makes sense. But in all this excitement about AI, are we losing sight of the human element?
That's a really important question.
Because how do we make sure that AI is empowering workers and not just replacing them?
Right. I think the key is to think of AI as augmentation, not replacement.
Augmentation, I like that.
So it's about, AI handling those routine tasks, freeing up humans to focus on those, creative, strategic parts of their jobs.
It's all about finding that balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Between, human ingenuity and AI capabilities.
But all this talk about efficiency and productivity, it makes me wonder about the impact on, well, creativity. Will tools like Agentspace help us be more creative, or will they make us less creative?
It's a really fascinating question, and I think it depends on how we use it. If we rely too heavily on algorithms for ideas, then yeah, maybe they could stifle our thinking. But if we use it as a collaborator, a way to explore, to generate those new insights, then it could actually boost our creativity.
So AI becomes a partner in the creative process.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's like having a brainstorming buddy who can access, the whole world's knowledge and come up with unique perspectives.
That's amazing. So it's not about AI replacing our creativity, but maybe changing how we access it, how we get inspired.
Right. Now, the other thing people worry about is the impact on, well, our humanity, right?
Yeah. I mean, if we're spending more time interacting with machines, will we lose that ability to connect with each other?
It's a valid concern. We've all had those days where we've, interacted more with our devices than with actual people.
Way too many of those days.
But again, it comes down to how we choose to use it,
Yeah.
right? If we let it isolate us, replace human interaction, then that's a problem. But what if we used it to enhance our communication?
Okay, now I'm not sure I follow. How can AI make us better at connecting with other humans?
Think about it. Agent space could be used to translate languages in real time, breaking down barriers between cultures.
Okay, I see.
It could even help us understand different points of view better by, summarizing those complex arguments, highlighting the common ground.
So it's not about AI replacing human connection, it's about making it easier.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe AI can even help us understand ourselves better. It could analyze our behaviors, our preferences, give us insights into our motivations.
It's like an AI therapist almost.
It could be. And it could help us lead more fulfilling lives. It might sound crazy, but I think it's possible.
It's definitely a lot to think about. So AI as a tool for self-discovery.
It's a mirror reflecting back on humanity in a way.
Okay, that's deep.
It is. And it means the future of AI isn't set in stone. We're shaping it with every choice we make.
That's both exciting and a little scary.
It is. And that's why these conversations are so important. We need to be thinking about these things, exploring the possibilities, making sure AI benefits everyone.
I agree. This deep dive into agent space has really gone way beyond just features. It's made us think about AI and how it affects our work, our creativity, our humanity even.
And that's the most important part. It's not just a tool. It's a way to ask those bigger questions, to create a future where AI and, human potential work together.
I love that. But before we move on to our final thoughts, what's something our listener can, ponder? We've talked about all the practical stuff, but what about AI and its impact on, creativity and being human? How could something like agent space change how we think, create, and connect with each other? It really makes you think, everyone's focused on the practical stuff, but what about the bigger picture? Does using AI change how we think or even, how creative we are?
It's a Question a lot of people are asking, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like, what if we become so reliant on these algorithms, that we forget how to think for ourselves?
It's like, will our brains turn to mush? Yeah, I've heard that concern.
Exactly.
But we have to remember that AI, at least for now, is just a tool.
Okay.
We're the ones in control.
Yeah.
We decide how it shapes our thinking.
So it's not about AI taking over, it's about how we choose to use it, right?
Exactly. Like, take Agentspace. What if, instead of being afraid it'll make us less creative, we use it to actually boost our creativity?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
We could use it to gather insights from, all these sources we wouldn't normally have time to read.
Right.
We could analyze different perspectives,
Yeah.
maybe even spark ideas we wouldn't have thought of
I
otherwise.
feel like Agent Space becomes your super smart brainstorming partner.
Yeah, exactly. And then the human element comes
Yeah.
in, right?
Yeah.
We take those insights, connect the dots, and turn them into something really innovative.
So AI isn't replacing our creativity, it's just, changing how we access it, how we find inspiration.
That's it. Now, the other big worry is what this does to our humanity, right? Like, if we're always interacting with machines, are we going to lose that human connection?
It's a scary thought. I mean, some days I feel like I've talked to my phone more than actual people.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to how we use it. If we let AI isolate us, replace human interaction completely, then yeah, that's a problem. But what if we used it to make our communication better?
Now, hold on. How can AI make us better at, connecting with each other? That doesn't make sense.
Think about it. Agentspace could translate languages in real time. Imagine no more language barriers between people from different cultures.
Okay.
It could even help us understand each other's perspectives better,
Hmm.
like summarizing those complex arguments or finding that common ground.
So it's not replacing human connection, it's breaking down the walls that get in the way.
Right. And who knows, maybe AI can even help us understand ourselves better.
Okay, now that's interesting.
Right. What if it analyzed our behaviors, our preferences, and then gave us insights into why we do the things we do?
It's like having an AI therapist.
It could be. And it could help us figure out how to live more fulfilling lives. It sounds kind of wild, but I think it's possible.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And it means that the future of AI isn't some fixed thing. We're creating it right now with every decision we make.
It's both exciting and terrifying at the same time.
It is.
Hmm?
And that's why these conversations are so important. We need to be talking about this stuff, exploring the possibilities, and making sure that AI is used to benefit everybody.
I completely agree. This deep dive into agent space, it hasn't just been about, the technical stuff. It's made us think about what AI means for everything, for our work, our creativity, even what it means to be human.
And that's the real takeaway here, right? It's not just a tool, it's a way to ask those big questions, to imagine a future where AI helps us reach our full potential.
That's beautifully put. It's a future worth fighting for, that's for sure.
It is.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Google Agent Space.
It does. But like any good deep dive, it's really just the beginning.
That's true.
It's up to each of us to keep asking those tough questions, to keep experimenting, and to create the future we want.
Absolutely. And who knows what amazing discoveries are waiting for us, right? So until next time, keep diving deep, keep questioning, and keep exploring.
And keep shaping that future you want to see. One where AI makes us smarter, connects us more deeply, and helps us all live a little more humanly.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of Google Agent Space. We can't wait to see what you discover.